shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. Don't like those RFIDs. Got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I sat down with Big Brother and the national ID. Don't want a chip in my wallet, chip in my car. And if I want to travel, it's nobody's business how far. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I said shame on Big Brother, always tracking and tracing me. Don't want a chip in my mother, chip in my wife, a chip in my babies. Stay out of our life. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. No more slavery. Play it for me, baby. Now, do you want a chip in your forehead, a chip in your arm, always tweaking your brain and causing you harm? Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother in the good old USA. I sat down with Big Brother. Down with Big Brother. Down with Big Brother. Down with Big Brother.
All you ever hear about in this country are differences. It's all I ever talk about. Politicians and the media always pushing the things that separate us. Things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
In the Middle East again, does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible where nuclear weapons will be used so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the
Roman
big
circus.
club.
What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world. so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus.
Why do you think politics feels more like a team sport than democracy?
Because that's exactly what it became. George Washington warned people about this a long time ago. He called it the spirit of party, and he said once political parties took hold, they'd start serving themselves instead of the public. And that's exactly what happened. Loyalty goes to the machine, not the country. They protect the brand, protect the tribe, protect the donors, protect the power, and the public gets whatever's left after the fundraising and the damage control. That's the bargain now. You cheer for your colors, they keep the scoreboard lit, and everybody acts like the game's what matters. Washington understood that once parties get strong enough, they stop asking what's good for the people and start asking what's good for the party. And once that happens, democracy turns into maintenance. Maintain the power, maintain the loyalty, maintain the illusion.
To the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
This country starts early. It works hard. It stays focused. It keeps moving. It stands ready. And it carries the weight. Strong coffee for a strong nation.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome, everybody, back to another Talking with Conspiracy with yours truly. We're going to have a little fun tonight, hopefully. Looks like we got a great chat. Rumble is rumbling. YouTube is jumping. And appreciate y'all being here. Appreciate you. Much love for sure. Sound like I got to tweak my intro just a little bit, and the sound audio is just one little spot, but ain't too bad. Hopefully y'all like that little extra added in there if y'all have seen it. Thought it was interesting, the amazing how it keeps happening. Somebody's about to break free of some amazing thing or uncover something terrible thing, and something happens to them. It's wild to see it. What's up, brother Willie? Willie Desert Hangout on the YouTube chat. We got Miss Jen, Arcane Observers there. We got Sweets. Nostradamus is in the chat over here. James couldn't do 3 in a row. He had to take a break. No, I'm playing. James and myself have been live streaming all day, seems like. And it's been a good day for live streaming. Nostradamus was first over on the Rumble. We got Ghost Starteds here. We got myself here. Look at that. Sweets, of course, is on the Rumble side. Miss Karen Carpenter is here. LJ is in the house. Let's see. SMU Husky. Husky? I'm Husky. What in the world? Yeah, I might be sideways by the end of this. By the end of this show, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, thank you, SMU. It's what I try. Sam, okay, that'll work. That'll be. Maybe I'll remember that. I'm bad with names, but yeah. I seen that video the other day, and I put it and made it my own a little bit. So hopefully y'all like that. Is I just ever expanding intro music, which of course I'll play it again in the outro. So for ones who missed it and see some of the pretty cool stuff, like, certain people not here right before certain moments is pretty wild. What's up, Conspiracy? Appreciate you being here. Miss Karen over there, y'all, surreal surroundings. Y'all check out her channel there on the YouTube. Help her grow. help all these wonderful people grow. We're going to have, who knows where this is going to go. I'm kind of swinging. I've had a lunch show today, which was really good. Hi, friend. The stream is sponsored by Reynolds Wrap Aluminum Foil. Seeing lights in the sky, shadows fall on you every day. Reynolds got you covered. Let me do my radio voice there for you. Oh, me. Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun. We're gonna have some fun. Like I said, there's some good stuff here. I got some good videos and some crazy stuff going on in the world right now. And we'll talk about it. I don't know how long a stream we're gonna have tonight. To be honest, I don't know. We're not breaking any records tonight. I guarantee that. We are not breaking any records, but that's all right. Like I said, we're here to have fun, enjoy each other's company. Where are my bookmarks? Oh. Twitter just did an update and messed all my stuff up. All right. What in the world? To kind of go with the title, though. Part of the title. We'll talk about some of this tonight. Let's see. Congratulations. Americans, we are $40 trillion in debt. These are the millions. This is the billions. And this is the trillions. And rolling along, heading towards 41 trillion. It really it has hurry. Yay. They wouldn't. What? Remember, like Bush and Obama, and it was around like 10. It's crazy how fast it just exponentially exploded. And let me play this video here.
It's official. The U.S. just admitted it, which means no one is safe from what's coming next. Not your wallet, your paychecks, your savings, your cost of living. In fact, life as you know it is about to change. In case you missed it today, the U.S. announced that we are buying back our own debt because nobody else wants it. I'm a monetary analyst. It's what I do for a living. I study the dollar. And a year ago, almost to the day, I predicted that yield curve control was coming, which is essentially when the U.S. Ponzi scheme really kicks into high gear and is exactly what we're seeing today. Instead of the Fed issuing new currency to buy the debt, the U.S. Treasury is issuing more debt to buy our existing debt so we can keep issuing more debt. And if that sounds confusing, it's because it is. You don't need to know all the technical details. All you have to know is that the media is going to tell you that this is not technically quantitative easing, that inflation will not rise because of this, but do not be fooled. What they're counting on people not realizing is that yield curve control was used here in the US during World War II, when spending exploded and there were no buyers of debt. So what did they do? They said, we'll just buy our own debt. This will guarantee that interest rates won't rise that much because the second they do, we'll just keep buying all the debt. Which sounds great in theory. They saved the system, but guess who paid? Everyday Americans. In just a few years, inflation jumped up to 18%. Can you afford if every single bill in your life jumps up another 18%? But not only that, the debt today is 10 times what it was during World War II in real terms. That means inflation adjusted, meaning that today's fallout would be far worse. We could be looking at not only double-digit inflation, but far greater than 18%. What this is really telling us is that the U.S. is growing more and more desperate and that they're having to step in at a much more frequent rate. And every time throughout history that a country has had to do that, it always results in higher inflation for the citizens. Now, to be clear, what's happening today isn't technically yield curve control yet, but it is the first sign of what's to come next. And if I were you, I would be paying very close attention to what's coming next, because every dollar you have, whether that's dollars in your wallet, in your bank account, your paycheck, they could be devalued like that.
That's insane. What's up, Bat? Much love to you and Wally. Fez, don't worry, sheep. We'll make the debt disappear. We'll just buy it from ourselves. Instead of selling it to China, we'll just buy it ourselves. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry. Nothing to see here whatsoever. No big deal. Yeah. So let's touch part of the title. We got, and like I said, we got lots of stuff. And yes, I know my folders are incorrect on what this is 112 and this says 111. Yeah, shoot me. It'll be all right. What's up, Charlie Rose? So I've been kind of saving. But we'll do some fun stuff. And, the tech folders always, a little here, a little there. Some and some cool stuff. For only $128,000 before inflation goes up, hey, you can get you one of these. A drone car. Got an extra 128 laying around, burn a hole in your pocket? The Jetson 1 personal air vehicle. What you need? Jetson. Of course, leaning back to the old cartoon we all love. I'm gonna play this video and then I'll make sure I check the chat, make sure I ain't getting too far ahead. I want to stay right there with the chat tonight. But my question is to you: would you allow an AI robot to stab you with a needle?
Starts the procedure. A green light indicator guides the patient for correct arm placement. Aletta uses a combination of near-infrared and ultrasound to identify a suitable vein and will not attempt a venipuncture unless one is found. This approach allows Aletta to successfully puncture almost every patient, regardless of skin tone, body type, or challenging veins. Using Doppler ultrasound, Aletta also accurately distinguishes between veins and arteries. Once the optimal vein is identified and stabilized, the needle is inserted with sub-millimeter robotic precision. The needle is not visible for the patient, helping them feel calm and confident. The patient cannot see or feel the tubes filling and being changed, making the experience more comfortable. Once complete, Aletta removes the needle and applies a bandage. The blood draw for this patient was fast, precise, and comfortable. Aletta now automatically prepares for the next patient. Aletta brings automation, precision, and comfort together. It's redefining the standard in blood collection.
What's up, Mr. Duffy? Yeah, I know I know people would, they had to use like the butterfly and veins roll and stuff, and I've seen where people collapse people's veins and stuff, where they're stabbing over and over again. So having something like that might be cool. I don't know. Um, I think I still rather go old school. You could be right, Ghost Start. It very could be, because there was a bunch of them out there. So, yeah. Yeah, Nostradamus, that's true. And half time they can't do it right, because, I mean, I don't know. The pool of getting people to do it, I think, is getting smaller and smaller of competent-ass people, And more drone footage. Check out the Walmart.
Okay, cool. So it slides up into the drone.
In the drone phone bone.
Hold on, I'm getting a video of this. It's about to take off right now.
Yeah. I'm just eating my lasagna for cooking Bethel. Fuck, I barely ate half of it. I'm
looking at programming what address needs to go to.
This is so cool.
I wonder how long this process is.
I'm sure it's faster than the Pony Express.
It's 30-minute delivery, if I remember correctly.
Say again?
30-minute delivery.
Yep, there go the blades.
There are the blades.
Going.
Got to back up out of the dock now.
I like pools in the way.
And there goes the package.
Small package.
Y'all get Walmart to deliver through drones. They probably wouldn't throw your packages as hard as some of the Uber Eats and Amazon workers. I don't know.
Okay, cool. So it slides up.
6G surveillance system will not only be able to see you through walls.
We're talking about what they can see with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and the 5G. Now it's going to get, if you have one of the 6G phones when they bring them out. Of course, they're going to slow 5G down to the point where they'll make you want to have to upgrade your phone because it's it's going to be so unbearable to really even use it.
I mean, literally, they'll be able to see movement signatures through walls because the 6G infrastructure will be so dense. There's so many relay stations with the 6G that they'll have an active surveillance grid where, like, literally real time seeing where every single individual is, particularly in major cities. 6G surveillance.
It's about to get crazy. 2030 will be here in no time. It's about to get crazy as hell. I'm going to skip up this video. Kind of goes together.
One dystopia that I'm particularly nervous about 10 years from now is we overreact to AI safety. And so we say, look, everyone, you're going to get a cure for cancer. You're going to have material abundance, but you will have no freedom. You will have no agency. It will be a perfect surveillance state. There will be no privacy. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get great comfort, but there will be nothing left in the world for you to really do. Nothing that really matters. You'll just kind of live at the service of the AI giving you material wealth. One dystopia that I'm particularly nervous about 10 years.
Yeah.
But the, service of the AI giving you material wealth.
And that's Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. Just a perfect surveillance. No big deal. I was watching it. Well, wasn't watching it. It popped up on my YouTube randomness, and The Giver came on, and I'm like, Have you ever watched The Giver or watched read the book? It's I believe there are some that want to see that kind of future for us. Absolutely. What's up, Antis? No doubt. Flock cameras, which I see more and more people taking them down. But this woman was jailed for 2 weeks for from them being wrong.
What's next for you? How do you move forward?
Therapy. Lots of therapy.
A woman was placed in jail for 13 days and initially charged with 8 felonies after a flock camera flagged her Durango as the hit-and-run vehicle that killed 3 people.
I was extremely confused. I kept telling them they had the wrong person, the wrong vehicle. I said, read my EDR. Fingerprinting, do anything you need to do. I was not involved in this crash.
The officers had enough information at the time to conclude she wasn't involved, yet she still was placed under arrest 6 months after the incident and after she sued the department for holding her car. Her car had 0 damage done to it and was the wrong color. That would be the reason that she eventually would be released.
I feel there's really no way of fixing what they did to me. It will always hurt me. My reputation was ruined. I'm still receiving death threats.
Flock cameras are coming under so much scrutiny that it's caused the CEO to come out and apologize.
No, it's horrible, and I apologize. Hindsight is a brutal tool. Of course, we could have done more earlier, and we listen and we learn, and we'll continue to move forward. I think I'm like many people that grew up in a safe neighborhood and assumed that our law enforcement friends were perfect.
Over 50 cities have cut ties with flock cameras. After repeated mistaken identity issues and stalking incidents, it might be time for a nationwide ban.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of. I seen the one where an officer was following his ex, using the flock cameras, following her, tracking her everywhere she went. Deflock.org if you want to see where they're at, so you know where to travel. Well, if you're in the city, you're pretty well screwed because they're everywhere. Yeah, The Giver is a crazy movie, Antis, and it gets dark quick once you figure out what's going on and what's happening to those people, and yeah, it gets dark really fucking fast. Kind of funny part, Peter Thiel at his house down in Buenos Aires had a squad of Gandalfs do a protest outside his house, saying, "Yeah, you shall not pass." Not that it's going to do a damn thing, but it is kind of funny. Ooh. Who thought of this? And how high were they? I cut off them talk. How high were they? And the moment they were sitting there, they were like, I have an idea. We're going to dress as Gandalf and protest outside Peter Thiel's house. uh, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think on that. But if you do want to watch the Giver movie, I see Antis dropped the DuckDuckGo search. I know it's on YouTube. If you got premium, I guess I think you can watch it for free on YouTube. It's an interesting movie, especially in the world that we're having right now. I know we've talked about it a few times on this show before. In the crazy world we are living in right now, it does absolute. I could see some wanting us to be to that point. Sadly.
What's next for?
And one more. They're coming out with the Neuralink to replace eyes.
In the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where even if somebody's completely blind, we can write directly to the visual cortex. But long term, you would have very high resolution and be able to see in multispectral wavelengths. You could see in infrared, ultraviolet, radar, like a superpower situation. In the next 6 to 12 months, we'll be doing our first implants for vision, where.
Thanks, Nostradamus. He dropped a link there in the Rumble. If y'all want to watch that. Yeah, final solution. So, in the next 6 to 12 months, even if you're 100% blind, I don't know. I still will be worried about it. I still will be worried about having that Neuralink and having that. That'd be cool, for the ones that's never had being able to see, that'd be, it's like a double-edged sword. Everything they do half the time nowadays is like a double-edged sword. I mean, it has to be amazing for people that have never been able to see, never seen colors and stuff like that. It'd be awesome. But then you have this tech in their head, and what could they do with it? It's just, I hate they change all this up. Now they get so weird. They'll have two. They mess up my feel good. I think I have two feel good folders. How about that? We'll figure that out when it's feel good time. We'll figure it out then. I thought this was kind of cool. They had a couple crop circles came out. I'll let the guy talk here. I do believe some crop circles could be possibly be real. I do believe there's a lot of fake ones. Not sure where the crop circle part comes from. Okay, is it some kind of tech doing it? Because some of it is burnt over. You can tell there's nobody bent it over with a wood. Just the way it down to the molecular level even. Some of the crop circles. Some of them are bent over with a piece of wood and a string, and you can tell. There's a big difference. I don't blame you, James.
What are aliens trying to tell us about melatonin? This is the wildest story you will ever hear. So in 2011, in the span of 2 days, there was 2 different crop circles that will blow your mind. And I know I said crop circles, and immediately people's eyes are going to roll and be like, Jordan, you mean those drunk guys with the boards and the ropes? I thought you were smarter than this. Well, riddle me this, Batman. If just a couple drunk Englishmen went into a field in the middle of the night and it's pitch black and no one saw them and there's no evidence of anything, why would they create a replica of the chemical compound of melatonin to a T? They brought in chemists and scientists to look at this thing. They said that is melatonin. And then come back 2 days later and create this beautiful abstract illustration that seems to show the pineal gland releasing melatonin. Is that what they do for fun in England? No, this is coming from a higher source, whether it's a higher intelligence or an alien or Gaia itself, something is trying to communicate to us. So why are they communicating melatonin? Well, let's look into what melatonin is. People think it's just a sleep supplement. It's not. I mean, it is, but it's so much bigger than that. Melatonin actually predates all humans and all animals on Earth. It's billions of years old. So billions of years ago, we had these bacteria and they needed protection and they produced their own melatonin to protect themselves. Why? Because melatonin is a master antioxidant. In our body, it's the second strongest antioxidant that we have next to glutathione. It's what keeps us alive and safe. So it's incredibly powerful. But more importantly than that, even though it is produced by all of your mitochondria, it's also produced in your pineal gland, your third eye. It also is almost identical to the chemical compound 5-MeO-DMT. So interesting connection there. They're both downstream from tryptophan. But anyways, melatonin is this regulator hormone. It basically tells your body when it's dark and when it's time for sleep. But more important than that, they've done a lot of studies that show that people that have the deepest, most vivid and lucid dreams have the highest levels of circulating melatonin. So there's definitely a connection between high levels of melatonin and vivid, lucid dreams. Now, why is that important? What is a dream? Well, let's tap into Robert Monroe for this. He studied altered states of consciousness and the dream state for decades and came to the conclusion that everybody has an out-of-body experience if they get to level 4 REM sleep, essentially. Okay. Now, what is an out-of-body experience and why is that important? In this case, what we have to see is that the physical body is a tuning instrument for consciousness. It doesn't produce consciousness. It tunes into it. It streams into it. But when you get into that stage 4 REM sleep mode, your body decouples from your consciousness and your consciousness is free. It's not restricted anymore and it can go play. It can explore. Where does it go? It goes to locale 2. It goes to the quantum world and it has this base level reality. It goes home and it has amazing experiences there. And when it comes back in your body, when you wake up, you remember little pieces of it. And we call that dreams, but it's not dreams. It's just memories of when your consciousness went home the night before. And I think this might be what the aliens are telling us, the importance of the pineal gland and natural melatonin. Let me know what you think is being conveyed here. Have a beautiful day. Peace.
What's up, Linda Craig? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, that was a interesting concept. And with that, I'm going to lay down. Take care, James. Yeah, Antis, yeah, you've seen me, that ZZ Top video. It's coming. Yeah, rest in peace, Frank Beard. I was going to say that for sure. But yeah, that's, I thought that was pretty interesting. Like I said, absence of darkness is a huge problem for sure. For sure, Jim. That's it. You're not a horror, you're this might be useful later specialist. I like that. I like that saying. That is me. Thought this was cool too. Look at this. It still amazes me the things that our ancient people did. Absolutely amazes me. No air jackhammers, no anything like that. Just a whole lot of grit, and it just amazes me. I always enjoy the Jay Anderson's the Project Unity videos. I'm hoping one day maybe get him on the show and talk one day. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah. I say this. It's a fun random video. Like I said, I don't want everything being negative today. And my question is for tonight, who in the chat, or if you're listening later, drop it down in the comments. Who would like to walk down that aisle, tied a knot, holy matrimony inside? Scares me the way that she drives me wild. I gotta cut the music or I'm gonna get cut off YouTube. So I'll continue to talk while it's going. Who wants to get married at a McDonald's? I guess, you're already ready, everybody just get them a Happy Meal or 20-piece nugget for the after wedding celebration. I don't know. Dropping flowers beside the Coke machine. Hell yeah. Look, they even got a little buffet going with the trays. Ain't nothing in it yet. I guess it's going to be chicken nuggets and french fries will be in there in a little bit. Yeah, I know. I said nuggies. And, yeah. Hope they have a wonderful, wonderful marriage. I don't know if this would be my choice for getting married at, but what do y'all think? I've stopped the chat. The chat has gotten quiet on me. They're in awe of the McDonald's wedding, I think. Or did I run everybody off? I don't know. No, it still says the people there. Thanks, Santos. Yeah, Project Unity's got some great, great videos. What's up, Mike Strange? Yeah, Linda. Dreams do come true. Rest in peace, Joe Phelps. I did show his website and stuff. So before, well, no, I haven't. I haven't shown on this show. I take that back. I put that in Discord. I'll find that. But here's a video from Joe Phelps. Rest in peace, Joe. He was just trying to show some things, and another one said that who was adamant about not being suicidal, supposedly commit suicide. Shit stinks of high heaven, but
It says it again, cut off from the end of Daniel. What is the Apocrypha? A certain group of books of the Bible that used to be included but ain't in your Bible today. What was in them? Why did the church take it out? Well, to understand this, you got to do a little digging into church history. The Apocrypha used to come standard in all Bibles. The Council of Hippo in 393 and the Council of Carthage in 397 reaffirmed and included them in all standard literature. The first decisive removal didn't come till 1546 at the Council of Trent when the Catholic Church removed the entire Apocrypha. The Bible, he listed the Apocrypha is not equal to Holy Scripture, but good and useful to read. In my mind, it's just a book. Why wouldn't you leave it in there for people to read it and make their own decisions? So I did a little digging. Here's a hint. It has a lot to do with the Holy Land of Israel, Palestine. Let's start at the beginning. First Esdras. As you can see, it talks about King David, Israel, the Levites. This one is excluded because they said it was a redundant variety of canonical scripture. Wisdom of Solomon, written about 100 BC, excluded because it was written in Greek, not Hebrew. Ecclesiasticus, written about 180 BC, excluded because it was not in the Jewish Bible. The book of Baruch was written by the prophet Jeremiah scribe, and it was excluded because it was not in the Jewish Bible. The history of Susanna, it even says right here, set apart from the beginning of Daniel because it is not in the Hebrew. This Bible was written in 1812, 214 years ago. They kind of say the quiet part out loud. I don't think anybody noticed. Maybe we notice it now. I take real issue with the first book of Maccabees because this is a historical account of a Jewish revolt that happened about 160 BC, and they excluded it because it wasn't in the Jewish Bible and because they said it was written about 100 BC, which is crazy because the earliest book of the New Testament was Mark, and that was written about 50 years after Jesus died, which is about the same time period of Maccabees. The book of Manasseh excluded because it was not in the Hebrew canon. Lastly, the destruction of Bel and the dragon. It says it again, cut off from the end of Daniel. Why? Because it was not in the Hebrew canon again. And not to get off topic, but they tell us dragons aren't real, right? But dinosaurs are. What is a dinosaur? A large reptile. What is a dragon? A large reptile. You ain't seen the skin on none of these. How do you know a dragon and a dinosaur ain't the same thing? Valid point. Why did they take it out? I'm not sure, but I've identified a common thread. It seems that these guys right here are always behind the scenes pulling the strings. It's the Christian church doing it, but only because it was not in the Jewish Bible. These guys right here own the media, the banks, and all the adult film sites. I'm not sure why these guys didn't want the Apocrypha in your Bible. I'm also not sure why they took Palestine out of the Holy Land. But I'm fixing to put these things online so we can all read them and decipher them together because they some shit in the game.
And even though his untimely death, they still did it. They released the files. They have lots of books, biblical manuscripts, all kinds of stuff here where they've been scanning. So you can actually go and see some of these books that they were working on. Ancient Egypt, the Book of the Dead. Interesting. Mysticism. So lots of stuff right here. I'll take care of my mods today on this one because I think it's. If you're interested in this thing, here's the link. I dropped it in the chat, so check it out. It's you know, this is something he truly died for. He's working to try to put some of this information out there, and why wouldn't some of this one need to be put out there, you know? Yeah. No problem, man. I put this video in the random lighten mood, I guess, a little bit. This one of the most amazing things, really. Check this out. This damn train and a cow. I was like, okay, whatever. I think he's lucky he wasn't running faster than it was. I can make this stop. Yeah, I agree, Jen. It is very interesting, and I mean, I got like Apocrypha and stuff. I got some of the books here. Like I don't have ancient ones like he has. Yeah, Linda, the guy we just saw in the video, he just passed away last week. Sadly, you know, he was. I actually put him part of my intro and stuff earlier, which will be on the outro too. So it'll be the intro, outro. Y'all get to see it again. The intro, outro. But yeah, it's sad, you know. He was trying to help people. Now, if this happened to me, I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, so everybody, it's all right, Linda. But yeah, it is coming all too common. I mean, it's happened so many times. Over and over again. That was kind of part of like the video and stuff I shared. You know, maybe, Andres. You know what? I just shared that video and y'all didn't even see it. I just see that. I just put back over here. That's funny. I just played a 2-minute video and it was quiet. And the reason it was quiet because, all right, my bad. I don't even think y'all see the
How about
cow.
Snake in the helmet? A 2-foot-long, highly venomous cottonmouth snake somehow slithered its way into an Arkansas high school football player's headpiece. You can see it here hiding behind the inner padding. But guys, the player practiced for an hour with it stuck up there before he started noticing the horrifying feeling around his head. This is a closer look. Apparently, one of the coaches spotted it when he brought in his helmet for an inspection during that practice. Eventually, school staff secured it in a tote bag until Animal Services came to take it away. Griff has been chomping at the bit all morning to talk about
It's such a crazy story. It gives snakes on a plane a whole new meaning. And in Arizona, everybody's afraid of rattlesnakes,
We
right?
shake everything
This is in Little
before you
Rock.
put
I
it
grew up in
on.
Memphis, Tennessee. The cottonmouth is the most dangerous snake. I just can't believe he played for an hour. Finally, he's like, hey, coach, something's wrong with my helmet. And they look in there, and there's a 2-foot cottonmouth. Are you kidding me?
I would still be, I'm screaming inwardly. The only reason I'm not screaming outwardly is because it was break the mic. Look, we all know cottonmouths are terrible. We all saw Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. Could you imagine if your child came to you and said, Mom, I was practicing with a snake in my head?
Well, talk about getting your head in the game. Okay, so that's good. But the good news is he wasn't bit. The bad news is, how hard is this kid's head that he didn't feel anything? You know, Italians have a thing about hard heads. We call it comatose. This kid is comatose.
You're right. I mean, thank God he wasn't bitten. And like, it just, when I think about why the snake liked it, like it was maybe all sweaty, and it just revolts me. This is horrifying.
What a nice snake to be there for an hour and not bite. And all I will say is just my algorithm on Instagram now is going to be like snake, snake, snake. It clearly heard me because I have like snakes coming out of cars and now snakes out of helmets, but a nice snake. He didn't bite him.
It's so true. I mean, I'm.
It could be. Somebody could have put that snake in there. I don't know. It's. Who knows? Pretty wild. Pretty damn wild. Like I said, I didn't realize I was still sharing the other tab. Oh, well. It happens. It happens. I don't agree with Jimmy Dore all the time, but yeah.
Who put this together? Dissident Media put this together. So watch this and hang on to your, because here we go.
Charlie responded with this. Okay, great. Remind them that they are there for one person's security only, because I'm somewhat worried the left is trying to kill me. That was a message sent September 9th.
September 9th, the day before he was murdered. He was texting people. He was afraid he's going to get murdered by the left. Well, according to Erica Kirk, who has his phone, she says this.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
I guess King Dipshit didn't know that she said that. And nobody at TPUSA told him, hey, don't pretend to have these texts.
But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that.
And I have
his cell phone.
Yeah. So it just blew up in their face.
I don't know. I didn't watch the debate. If anybody watched the debate, I don't know. I watched clips of it, little pieces of it. I wasn't trained there. I believe so, Jim. I think she was a plant. She kind of feels. I feel that way. I could be wrong, but the whole thing is absolutely crazy for sure. Here's a messed up one. I should put this in politics. I'm not sure why I put it over here, but screwed up either way.
So what happened today, grass reform, is widely regarded by the left and right as the most important food regulatory effort of the past 30 years. This is what everyone has been clamoring for. We got it done today. The real issue here is that the FDA commissioner, as we sit here today, does not know what's in our food. Most Americans, most moms would assume that the ingredients in our food have been subjected to safety studies. That is not true. For the past 40 years, the food industry has taken advantage of a loophole where they can generally recognize a food as safe, grass. And 95% of food ingredients now in our food supply have been self-identified as safe with no safety studies. Once you designate that loophole, you do not have to submit the ingredient or safety studies to the FDA. And that loophole use has led to the FDA not knowing what's in our food. It could be 2,000 ingredients, it could be 10,000. We don't know. There's not safety study in our food. So what this does today is it mandates that the food industry for new ingredients, radical concept, needs to notify the FDA, and the FDA will now be able to conduct safety studies on that food. Additionally, for the ingredients in our food supply, and we have 10,000 more ingredients than Europe in our food supply.
This new ruling with closing the
I'll say before that guy does it. That's crazy. It's like the more and more you sit here and listen, talk, and the more, I don't know. It's like damn near the point, what the hell are we supposed to eat? Like, man, everything is food bar. Everything's got so much crap in it. Now the FDA is supposed to be protecting us, which we should know is a crock of shit. Thousands of damn whatever.
The grass loophole is huge. I have literally been making posts about this loophole for years. They have been self-approving thousands of chemicals with no safety studies. I have a video here that I'm gonna have you watch. It's really good. It kind of goes over what this grass loophole is with the FDA, how it's been exploited. And I mean, you have no idea. We have been literally eating just chemical poison, and it's been allowed. It is wild.
The FDA has been deceiving Americans with the safety of chemical additives in food for close to 7 decades. Over 1,000 chemical additives currently used in processed food were neither safety reviewed nor tested by the FDA, which includes natural flavors. According to a long-standing FDA ruling from the 1950s, food companies can conclude on their own that new chemical additives are generally recognized as safe for their intended use and then use that additive in food without notifying the FDA. If companies voluntarily choose to submit the GRAS notice to the FDA will issue a no questions asked approval. Once the chemical is designated as GRAS and used in food, the FDA does not regulate it or reevaluate it. As a result, 98.7% of all food chemicals that entered the marketplace since 2000 were only reviewed and tested by the food and chemical companies that created them. As the fourth most common ingredient on food labels, natural flavors are permitted to be 80 to 90% synthetic. Companies don't have to disclose food additives used as carriers in their natural flavors on the ingredient labels. The most common synthetic additives and natural flavors for beverages and food are propylene glycol, polyglycerol esters of fatty acids, maltodextrin, benzoic acid, polysorbate 80, BHT, BHA, and triacetin. The GRAS loophole is what allowed food companies to use brominated vegetable oil for 64 years before the FDA finally banned it this year due to concerns surrounding its effect on our thyroid glands. Last year, Senator Cory Booker and Senator Ed Markey introduced the Safe and Toxic-Free Food Act.
Of course, nothing was ever really done until now. The Trump administration finally got it done. And you read that right. You know, he said right here, 98.7% of all food chemicals that entered the marketplace since 2000 were only reviewed and tested by the food and chemical companies that created them. That is wild. We have literally been a hostage to big food. And finally, the Trump administration has closed that loophole. I mean, this is such a big deal.
Crazy. But I wonder what are they going to do to replace, you know, they've been using all these materials and stuff for all this time. You know, Europe doesn't have nothing what we have over here. We know what it does to the people. But, you know, how long, if, on one side of things, my questions are, if they are doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're stopping this stuff and, hey, we're not going to have it no more, how long is it going to take it to implement it? How, you know, is it going to take 10 years, 15 years? Are they allowing the companies to keep using it until they find an alternative? I got you, Antis. Yeah, I just wonder. What's up, VCR? Appreciate you being here. And yeah.
So what happened today, Grass?
You know, it's this whole last absolute presidency is like insane. Like for one moment it does something good like that, and the other side, you know, we got all these damn data centers and truly what are they for, and all this other crazy stuff coming in. I'm with you, Jen. Hell, that's half my diet anyway. Potatoes and chicken. That's about all I damn eat anyway. And some rice. Appreciate you coming in though. VCR, appreciate you. Just crazy.
Honest?
I keep seeing all these people want to go into other countries, and you know, at the end of the day, sadly, sometimes you think about it. You know, the United States is still one of the greatest countries. We are. We got to do something and fix a lot of things, and we as a people need to step up. And there's a lot of things to be fixed, but we're still so much better off in so many of these places. This woman here got a year-long in India a visa. I couldn't even think of the damn word there. Just went poop, brain fart. But a year-long visa, and like within less than 2 weeks, she's already saying, "F this, I'm going home."
No, it's a great start in this town, to be honest. I'm honestly kind of over India already. I think I'm just going to leave. The men here are just, there's something wrong with them. I just need to get out of here. I'm just done. Sick of the cow poop on the roads, sick of the trash absolutely everywhere. I mean, look at that garbage. It's disgusting. I got the year-long visa because I wanted to come here and, do a whole tour around India. At this point, I don't even want to stay 2 weeks. No, it's a great.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. Speaking of messed up food too, I don't know if y'all seen this. I sure want to show this.
This is now an FDA level 1 recall risk due to possibility of death, life-threatening illness, or permanent damage. There are now over 19 million eggs recalled by the FDA. Here are the brands you need to avoid and immediately.
I know that one there. I see at Walmart. Kroger brand. Country Morning.
Throw out your eggs if the egg carton has any of these numbers on it. Do not eat those eggs. P-19500840092 or any 3-digit codes between 157 and 184. Additionally, don't forget about the Costco Kirkland rotisserie chicken lawsuit, which alleges multiple salmonella contamination at their billion-dollar Nebraska plant. They've reportedly failed monthly USDA tests from late 2023 to mid-2025 and hold the USDA's worst food safety rating in 92% of reporting periods since 2019. 157 million of these chickens were sold last year alone. If you purchased one of those rotisserie chickens, you may be eligible to file on claimmoney.com. Be advised the deadline to that lawsuit is ending soon, so make sure you get to claimmoney.com to file for your payout. Share this with anyone that you know that may have had those contaminated eggs or Costco chicken, and follow me because I'll be keeping you up to date right here on this account as this develops.
Again, like, fuck. We can't eat shit. We can't eat nothing. Yeah. Eggs, we need to go to our neighbors. Yeah. Anta's dropping some facts in there in the Rumble chat. Midwest Poultry Service recalled 1.5 million dozen white eggs. So be careful. Not to scare anybody, but I don't want none of my friends. Y'all my friends. I don't want none of y'all sick if something like that is bad. I wouldn't doubt it, sweets. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. What are you doing, Shadow? She's got the runnies.
This is now an FDA level 1 recall risk due to possibility of death.
Stop. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that, especially when I was working in the grocery business. I was in the grocery business for like 8 years, and I've seen it happen a bunch of times, especially at Walmart. Walmart was one of the worst. You get stuff, and they get put... Shadow. Yeah, meow. Hey, well, that stuff sit out all day long, and all of a sudden they get put back. Yeah, you're right, Linda. You will own nothing and eat nothing. You will eat bugs. The Z-bugs. The Z-bugs you will eat. When her credit score is wrong. You can't, they won't let you buy beef. That credit score is coming. No doubt. Absolutely coming. So, watch your food. I guess eggs and stuff. If you know there's actually somebody selling eggs right down the street from me. I don't eat very many eggs though, so I can only eat so many eggs at a time. Once I get my kitchen redone though, I'll probably get back cooking better. It's coming though, slowly but surely. House remodels just take time. I seen this video here, and this is on a whole different touch. I didn't know what to think about it. I'd never seen it before. They're celebrating a saint. I think it's Saint Augustine. And I guess this is her head. Check this out. What do y'all think? I was going to type it, but I did see where meat processing, Tyson Food actually turned around and lost. Had to shut one of their plants down because they don't have enough beef. Excuse me. And yeah, so they're steadily, killing animals, killing, herds, even if they're not even sick. It's they're pushing us and trying to put us where we're in a actually pandemic of food shortage. The more they do this crap, it's messed up. Just make it go perfectly in the head. Everything, like James said, everything's fine. No big deal. It's okay. Let's put the top of their head back on. There we go. Fix the head there. There we go. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, okay, even if you wanna, I don't understand it. Somebody had to explain it to me. I thought this video had to. They put a crown on it too. I might have a video in a second. No, I guess I don't. I think I saw it, but yeah, they put a crown on it. Now I seen the where the guy kissed it. I don't know. Just as odd. I wish I need somebody to explain it to me. What is the purpose of? Yeah, like voodoo. And the crazy thing is, like right now, especially with before I play that video, like the crazy thing is with the Catholic church, they just had the Catholic Biblical Association elected a Jewish president who is not just for the race of Jew. She is a Jew, practicing Jewish. Is going to help lead the Catholics. So that's just it's a wild time we're living in right now. I don't know what to think of it though. Sounds good, Jen. Sounds good. Let's get this stone though. Hopefully you found it. Probably gonna get copyright for that crap on the TV, I bet. This was odd. What in the world? It's like a vampire stone. Can't see it in. If this video is real, I don't know. And I've had to save for a minute, so Lucy. Lucy, if there's some kind of weird stuff about a video, you know, like it's been here 12 hours, Lucy, something would pop up like a notification, you know, BS, you know. Yeah, we could set Jim. We could probably set a day. I'd have to look at. I'll reach out to you. I gotta look at my calendar and stuff. But I know I got some openings. Where we could bring all that on here. We can just that'll be what we can talk about. That'd be cool with me. And I seen this earlier, which because I've never believed in the theory of evolution. I really never, even though they taught it in school. I always thought it was weird because like if things are evolving, how are the things that got evolved from still here? It never makes sense, but.
Evolution is based on 4 major ideas. None of them have ever been observed. Number 1, that life comes from non-life. We have not one single example of life coming from non-life. Number 2, that all the life forms that we have today came from single-cell life forms. Many people do not know that while we do have single-cell life forms that we call bacteria, we have no 2-cell life forms. We don't have 3-cell life forms. We don't have 4-cell life forms. We don't even have 5-cell life forms. That is, we go from single-cell bacteria to complex life forms. So there's no evidence that all life comes from single-cell life forms. The third postulate of evolution is that time and chance drive evolution forward, of course, and time works against evolution. The chance of one simple 100-unit protein coming together by accident this is a very big number. Time and chance make evolution absolutely impossible. The fourth postulate that evolution is based on is that what we see today, minor genetic variation in species, is evidence of macroevolution. So because cats are different colors, dogs are different sizes, that means that fish turned into cows. And of course, we know that that's not true because Mendel proved that all the genes that exist today, you can shuffle them around, but there are no new genes that look like.
I like his argument. You would think you would have, if you went from a single-cell organism to a 2-cell organism. Again, why, how are we still have single-cell organisms if everything evolved? I don't, I'm not a professor. I'm just curious. Inquisitive minds want to know. But, yeah, I agree, Jen, that those points are straight fire because, what he's saying there, I absolutely, he's spitting truth. And I might get copyrighted on this. I'll play just a little bit, I guess. Again, that's sad. Big music lover and stuff like that. The music industry, it makes me sad anyway because of, all the crazy stuff, certain ones probably had to sell themselves and all that, but ZZ Top was one of my favorite bands back in the day, my parents' favorite, and I know they got to see them in concert. I never did. I wish I had. I had opportunities, I just never took them. Now 2/3 of ZZ Top has passed on. Only thing left, we got Billy Gibbons. His crazy, eccentric self. But here they were on Johnny Carson. Like I said, I don't know. I might get popped. We'll see. If you're on YouTube and it shuts off, I'll be back in just a second. Hopefully I won't get caught. I'll probably have to cut this out. But
okay, hang on to your hats. This next group for the past few years has been, I guess, about the biggest single concert attraction around the country. They have sold over 30 million albums, and the fact that they've been together, I think, about 16 years, they've never done live television before. And we're delighted they're here tonight. Yeah. This is Afterburner. Would you welcome ZZ Top?
Every girl crazy about a sharp dress man. Gold watch, diamond ring, I ain't missing not a single thing. Cufflinks, stick pill, plastic bottle gonna do you in. The car running just as fast as they can. Was every girl crazy about a short dress man?
Yeah, I'm like, they're gonna boot me. But it's always been funny to me. Like Frank Beard, his name's got Beard, but he never had the beard. But Billy and Dusty had the beards. One of the few bands I know all the members: Dusty Hill, Frank Beard, and Billy Gibbons. It's one of the few bands I actually know all the members' names and most of the songs. And I wish I was just on Rumble today and I would just play the whole thing. And so that was pretty cool. To find that video, I hated to hear that Frank Beard passed away though. So. All right, let me throw these videos out here. We'll do some political videos, I guess. Some stuff in the title won't be talked about today. I just swung it out there.
Senator John Hawley. I loved this guy. If I was you, I'd go check to see who funds him. It's a show, people. And you know what the show is? Distraction. Let me show you how the distraction works with Senator Hawley. Send out Fauci. And they send him out to make him look like a clown. If you ask me, Fauci's just the guy who gets whacked. He's the fall guy. I don't think he even exists anymore. I'm going to say that was an actor. Forget going, hey, man, you guys owe us an apology. The snakes showed themselves. Hey, forget your freedom. Hey, you gotta get back. Your presidents said that. Your senators said that. Your corporations said that. Your baseball owners said that. Your basketball owners said that. Your NFL owners said that. They all said that. The medical industry said that. They all said that. They are all part of the system.
Jim Brewer be saying some fire sometimes, and some of the stuff he comes out, and I'm surprised he's allowed to say some of the things he says. But yeah, I mean, they were all saying he's absolutely right. I guess to keep YouTube happy, you know, this is for your entertainment purposes only. We are not doctors, lawyers, mathematicians, you know, finance advisors, anything. I'm just a jack-a-leg over here behind a camera. There we go. I done my little thing there. But he's right. They're all of them were sitting there. All the sports commentators and stuff was talking crazy. If you don't, you're going to kill your grandma. All the news reporters, all the big businesses, all that crazy shit. All of them were. It was all bullshit. It's all a lie. This video actually right here, this video, I got more views on Facebook. This video right here actually posted on my Facebook and got me like almost 1 million views on it.
Senator John.
So we're here with Kristen Megan. She's a military veteran, right?
Yes, I was in the U.S. Air Force for 9 years.
Wow. And you came out and blew the whistle on geoengineering, things that you witnessed were going on. Can you give us the real nutshell?
Absolutely. Basically, I had heard of what many people know as the term chemtrails. And I worked in a job called bioenvironmental engineering. And I thought that was insane. And why would we do something like that? Modify the weather by using hazardous materials in our atmosphere. So, and actually the process of trying to debunk it or disprove it, I realized it was actually coming right out of my office, as I was one of the people that was approving the chemicals. And it really shook the core of my oath. And I did a lot of sampling, did a lot of investigation, and I blew the whistle and I got out. And I've now used my credentials, my oath, and my powers for good to help people understand it's very real. It's now openly admitted. There are multiple forms of weather modification. I specifically found the one of stratospheric aerosol injection. And collectively around the globe, we have to understand that it is now being admitted because they're saying it's combating climate change. Well, the climate change we need to be worried about is man-made climate engineering, also known as geoengineering.
And when you say you had chemicals being pumped into the air, what kind of chemicals are they putting out that rain down on humanity, basically?
Nanoparticulate metals, like we had different sulfates and barium and strontium. I know it's probably changed over time. I know they use silver iodide for certain things, but these are the odd part of it was the quantities that I saw them coming in, the form that they were coming in. And it's the same type of materials that I was trying to engineer out of the workplace to substitute with safer materials. And when you notice that what's called the safety data sheet, the information about a chemical of what personal protective equipment to wear, how do you dispose of it, how do you pack it to ship it? When key information is missing, I ask questions, and my questions led to demonization, and I knew I found something I shouldn't have.
That's insane. So these metals are basically toxic for the humans, I would presume, or?
Yes, because it also has aluminum, and a lot of people will tell you, well, these things aren't horrible in small quantities. It's not small quantities, because when you are putting things above us, the dissipation rates are dependent on weather and climate, but it's getting into the food, it's getting into the soil. And around the world, these wastewater treatment plants, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, or these toxicants is what they're called, they are not able to filter them out. So if you're growing organic food, are we going to go back to the plexiglass barriers on our plants? I mean, it's horrible. That's why you can ban it anywhere. We've had states in the United States ban it, and that is great to get the ball rolling. But people really need to wake up to it, irrespective of any political party. It's not okay. And you're seeing a huge increase in neurodegenerative issues like Alzheimer's. It's really difficult for people with respiratory issues and asthma. And people are wondering why they have allergies 24/7, 365.
And I liked what you said about that climate change, or the change we experience in weather. Often we can't disconnect that from these geoengineering activities. Do you want to say something more about that? I mean, how do we feel that? Is there proof or so that it's definitely coming from that?
Yes, there are places that openly admitted it. Remember Dubai? And then when people got upset, they retracted it, but the can was already opened. And the issue is, I know this sounds silly, but when you watch movies with time change, they say if you do something and something changes, it changes the ripple throughout time. If you are modifying the weather, you are messing with Mother Nature. And meteorology is a very, very thorough study. And I do know a lot of it because of my profession of plotting hazards, but it does not make sense when you are altering nature where things are not naturally supposed to occur. We had massive flooding in California, and we have a system called HARP that is in the United States. And the same people who demonized me 5-10 years ago are now going, wow, because they're finding it's openly admitted in all of our U.S. documents. The U.S. is absolutely not the only country doing it.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you very much for coming out on that and letting humanity know what's going on. Thank you so much, Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah, some of it, they say they're banning some of the stuff, Linda, but it's like, it's one of them things. You've seen, chemical people and plants, and they turn around and pouring shit in the holes and pouring shit in camera, and the fines they pay. Well, it's illegal. Don't do it. But the fines they pay because they're getting fined because what they're doing is less than it costs for them to actually deal with the situation correctly. So that it's better, it's cheaper and more profitable to just keep on keeping on and just pay the fines, which is more fucked up shit that we're living in. But but she's right there. We did. That's why Alex Jones was saying they're turning the frogs gay. They proved it that the filtration systems and the water systems at these major cities cannot filter out all these hormones and drugs and stuff that everybody's pissing out in the system. You turn around and you go to the bathroom, and all them drugs, whatever is not in your system, all the excess comes out into the water system, and then they supposedly filtrate it to keep all the bad stuff and filter right back in. But it can't. It can't filter all that stuff out. And I think that's why we have, some people acting the way they do, and because it's modifying people's behavior and everything else. It's a slippery slope we have. Yeah, they are all above the law. Here's something Trump did good. I'm going to give him his knock on this one right here. He did do good on this.
Separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day. Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children. In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the exemptions. Other countries, separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all.
So, yeah. So now parents can't sue states if they don't allow them to opt out, especially for religious exemptions. So that's a positive. I know a lot of people are trying to do that. They're trying to use a religious exemption, to keep them having, these 47,000 freaking vaccines they're trying to throw at people. And knowing that, and I have friends, and they're like, well, look at the old days and vaccines did this and helped this. Yeah, in the old days. But when they turned around in the 80s and gave open market where they could turn around and go, hey, you can't be sued for whatever. If you mess up and make something bad and it's wrong, it F's people up, no big deal. It's okay. And open the door, open up the floodgates of people turning around and just absolutely bombarding whatever they want to. That's when you watch the vaccine rate skyrocket of how many they want and how often and how every time it's bombarding these children with shit. Some vaccines, there's been vaccines that's helped and helped people, no doubt. Like there's medicine that helps people. Absolute. But there's also a lot of stuff they put out there to make people sick. So you have a multi-billion, trillion-dollar industry of having people sick. It's better to get people sick so you can keep treating. If you cure all, they keep talking about AI is going to cure all these diseases and cure all this crap. I don't believe it. They're going to knock out that trillion-dollar industry? Come on. They ain't going to knock out that trillion-dollar industry. They won't let them. No way. I don't want to talk about that. The Hunter Biden laptop is a video. I don't want. I'll pass that on. The guy, the repairman, was talking about it, and he was like, how he has vision impairment, but he can see damn people right there. He can see what he saw. I'll pass that up there. And here's one of the reasons. This is right here, right nearby, not too far away. I guess it ain't right by. It ain't like it's not next door, my next door neighbor. But Nashville, Tennessee, And you see it more and more, like on a whole other level of. I think this is why people are. I think part of it might be this intentional dumbing down of a nation. We have so many people that are graduating high school can't even read. Like it used to be a small number, and usually it was jocks and stuff. Back in the day, it was football player, basketball player. If you were a hell of an athlete, then you could get by, and people would do your work for you, and you didn't have to do shit. You didn't have to read, write, add. It didn't freaking matter. If you could run a football or you could dunk a basketball or whatever, you're good to go. But now they're doing with all kids. It's sandy.
I was Teacher of the Year at John F. Kennedy Middle School in Antioch this past year, and Blue Ribbon Teacher of the Year for the district. What you have in front of you right now is my resignation letter. I resigned in May. You can read those 3 pages at your leisure. But I've heard a lot of positive data in this meeting, and I just wanted to give you some facts from my firsthand experience. So first, district leaders asked me to fabricate grades for a parent who sat in the office for hours until her daughter's failing grades were changed. It creates false entitlement. What happens when these kids lie, cheat, and cry their way through school and end up as future doctors, police, or politicians? When will you protect the future of our society? Second, that same parent has harassed over 30 teachers. Teachers have filed police reports, and entire school districts have had or entire schools have had restraining orders against her. Yet she's still allowed on school property, showing up to field trips her child didn't earn, and filming other students. When will you stop prioritizing parents' feelings over the safety of our teachers and our students? I heard you also mention that we're closing gaps in teacher vacancies. I want the public to know that many of those are filled with uncertified teachers. My third point, HR withheld money from my employee paycheck as well as many others. They took $500 from me specifically, and it put me behind on my mortgage. And then they sent out an email saying that they had to do it to pay other employees. When will you pay teachers what they are owed? My fourth point, the news reports that behavioral issues are down. They are not. We are simply banned from reporting them, forcing us to keep disruptive students in the classroom. Statistics are being skewed to protect the district, not our children. Our children cannot read and write. They cannot do basic math. And we spend 40 hours a week with these students, so we know them better than the district and those fake numbers. Please stop undermining our professional decisions, because honestly, it's breaking the efficiency and it's giving HOA quality. So Dr. Battle, my question to you.
Thank you. The time.
Okay.
Shut up, get out there. Get out there. And that's happening everywhere, sadly. Go start, never give up, no matter what. I think no matter what, all these gloom and doom and crazy stuff going on in the world, no matter what, we still got to have hope. If not, what is the point? We don't have any hope. So we got to keep hope, and things will stay positive as we can. It looks shitty, but we got to keep on keeping on. Give them the middle finger and tell them we ain't going down without a fight. How Canada's going to be part of Europe.
And I said at that meeting that I believe that the next world order will likely be built out of Europe.
What did he say?
Honored to attend, and I said at that meeting that I believe that the next world order will likely be built out of Europe, and Canada will be part of that effort. In security, as the first non-European member to join SAFE, as the President mentioned, under his leadership, Canada is a key member of the coalition of willing to support Ukraine. In critical minerals, working with Minister Lescure, as a reliable supplier to our core European partners.
Oops. You talking about conspiracy or me? It's crazy. Everything from conspiracy comes from that country, to the point of even taking over every little spot. Like I said, I showed earlier, even the Catholic Church. Why are we allowing that? I don't know. And of course, we got California. I had elected a Democrat Chinese communist spy. Good job. I don't know why they keep showing that picture. That is a docked up picture. That is not her whatsoever. Yeah, Canada's Linda is messed up. Especially with the care product deal when they're just killing people. I know there are over 100,000 people they've killed. I showed a video a while back about one where a couple had to come back down here had to come to the United States to get her help because they were just like, man, you're going to die, and we're going to let her die. It's sad to see, the situation they got going up there. And then you got our friends in the UK that has to do this to allow just.
I genuinely cannot believe what I have just read. The government has just published a handy guide for illegal migrants on how not to be a rapist, not to be a pedophile, how not to beat women, and how not to leave babies alone. That, again, may be really hard to believe, but that is exactly what they have just done. Illegal migrants are being taught what consent means, being taught that a woman has to say yes before you get to have sex with them. It has to be explained to them that men and women are equal. There's a handy cartoon here to help them understand that beating a woman is illegal. They're also told that it is illegal to harass people. And they have a full explainer here as to what child abuse is, including any sexual contact with a child under 16 is a serious crime. And it goes on and on and on. There's some important rules for parents, informing them that they shouldn't leave babies alone. Now, there's endless propaganda from the government that actually these men, that 200,000 people have turned up on our beaches illegally over the last 8 years from countries like Afghanistan.
Man, who's leaving their baby alone anyway? Like you don't just leave a baby and go, I mean, I've seen some parents do that. They're sitting there on their little phone and going, duh, 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 duh. The baby's just kind of wandering around doing what the hell it wants to do. But still, who's just leaving babies alone?
Afghanistan don't pose any meaningful threat to British women and girls. We know that that is not true. And when Nigel Farage and other reform figures have pointed out the threat that they pose to British women and girls, they are howled and shouted at by the political establishment. Well, this disgrace shows you exactly what the government knows. They know that they are a menace, and they are living in taxpayer-funded hotels. You are paying for their living costs in HMOs, in hotels. They are being dispersed all around the country, and they are in your local area. In some cases, they're near schools. They all need to be detained. They need to be deported. Reform will put the Navy in the Channel to maintain a hard perimeter with the clear orders: do not allow a single unauthorized vessel to reach our shores. And every illegal migrant that the Tories and Labour allowed into this country will be detained and deported without delay.
Yeah, that's terrible, Linda. That personally, some people that had made take them out. Like it's that's just sad. Did have a protest in Dearborn, Michigan, where Christians are trying to take over. Protest there, and since half of over 55% of Dearborn, I think, 55% is Muslim in Dearborn, Michigan. Wild stuff. I don't want to play this asshole. We'll play Rabbi Shmuley.
Let me be clear. For thousands of years, we Jews have developed an insidious mental construct that we need to be loved. We need everyone to like us. Now, that would be nice. Machiavelli said 500 years ago in Florence that you should want to be loved and feared. But if you have to choose, and October 7th has forced us to choose, then you need to choose being feared over being loved. The Jewish people have to be feared. Hamas has to fear the IDF. Hezbollah and disgusting, poisonous, reptilian Iran has to fear the Mossad. Just think about this for a moment. When Israel goes in the heart of Tehran and kills Ismail Haniyeh, and I feel really bad for him, because if I had $4 billion, I wish I could have lived longer and bought more hot tubs and more, Gulfstream 6s and all.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Am I? Hate's such a strong word.
All that wasted money now, which his children are now suing Erdogan for, when you do that in the heart of Tehran, what do you think Khamenei himself is thinking? He's thinking, uh-oh, I'm next. These Jews actually fight back. The same thing is true in media. Why aren't we going after the Candace Owens of the world, the most disgusting reptilian anti-Semite in America? Why aren't we going after Roger Waters? Why aren't we going after Tucker Carlson? President Trump, who spoke here at the IAC the other day, is the most pro-Israel president in American history. What the heck is he doing with Tucker Carlson in his ear? Tucker Carlson's a Holocaust denier. Tucker Carlson just had a historian on, 42 million people watched it, who said the Holocaust, he's not a Holocaust denier. He admits that 6 million Jews died, but it wasn't a program of genocide. They were like prisoners of war. They died of disease. Cut the crap and stop desecrating the memory of our 6 million. And no American president, whether it's Biden or George Bush or greatest president for Israel, Trump, should be having people like that. And we have to go after the Tucker Carlsons of this world. I am tired of being a scared Jew. I am tired of quaking and shivering and trembling before our enemies. We are going to bring the fight to our enemies.
Yeah, he's had people. Tucker has had people on there, and the math just don't math. The math don't math. When they've gone back to the places, it showed like disposal gas chambers. And it had locks on the inside. The doors weren't sealed. A lot of people did get killed. But even Bibi even said that Adolf was trying to just get them to leave. I played that video before. So if Bibi Netanyahu can say that, this is their last hurrah of power. A lot of the AIPAC people are not getting elected right now. If you have AIPAC money, you got a mark on you. Yeah, everything could be a psyop. Everything on top of everything, a psyop on top of a psyop on top of a psyop. Really, a lot of the stuff is like it's all, and it's why it's coming from all directions. Everything's coming from all directions. You know, you got this going on. You got the inside division in the Democrat Party with the Socialist Democrats that wants to take down the Constitution and just run roughshod. Open prisons, no borders, just pure fucking insanity. I mean, I don't know what words for it really. We see right now, if you look over there in Spain and what's going on right now, if you want to see what would happen if the borders just said, no more, open says me, what would happen? It'd be people getting trucked in. And it will be over. You know, it's, I don't know, it's a crazy time right now. I agree. Never underestimate the enemy. They've been at this for centuries. They have. This is no 5-minute, 10-year, 20-year, 30-year plan of operation. This has been a long time process of all this stuff going together. Long time. I don't conspiracy. I'm almost to the point where we just hate them all equally. Because they all do evil shit. They'll tell you that they'll pay you that, and then they won't pay you like they've done to a lot of people. Here's another prop piece for you, conspiracy. They're legalizing animal sacrifice in freaking backyards and shit. Just wherever you want to sacrifice an animal, I guess. I was looking around. I hadn't seen Peter reach out and raise hell about it. I've seen Peter raise hell, and I even called him out on Twitter today because I don't really give a shit. I've seen Peter raise hell about all kinds of things and injustices to animals. I've seen their old propaganda and their old flyers and shit. I went to a barn when I was a kid years ago and helped clean out a whole bunch of PETA shit, showing monkeys with gears inside their head and, instead of a brain and all kinds of messed up, absolutely nightmare fuel pictures that I'll never get out of my head again. But they're not calling out this. What? The animal sacrifices. Yeah, wording. You gotta just watch how you word that. Conspiracy. You gotta watch how you word that. Yeah, I asked him about it. Why aren't you calling it out? Why aren't you all calling that out? Hamtramck, Michigan now allows religious animal slaughters at home, including backyards. No big deal. Yeah, it's getting deep in it, Jen. It really is. I didn't know where this was going to go today. I knew it was going to be sideways and upside down. Crazy. I don't want to see that. I don't want to go out in my backyard and watch somebody, you know, sacrifice a goat. I'll have my kids watch somebody sacrifice a goat from their window. Man, I don't know. It's a crazy world we're getting into. One more fun video, quotation marks fun, and then we'll move on. Like them old videos you saw of the news reporters all saying the same shit, you know, you see that over and over again. They did it during 2020, during COVID, parroting the same shit, word for word.
We really are living in a cognitive Wild West.
We really are living in a cognitive Wild West.
Living in a cognitive Wild West.
A cognitive Wild West.
Most people have near zero mimetic defenses or cognitive security suited for the age of synthetic media.
Near zero mimetic defenses
or cognitive security suited for the age of synthetic media.
The age of synthetic media.
The age of synthetic media.
Synthetic media.
Whatever immunity you have is worn down by the constant expectation of deception.
Whatever immunity you have is
worn down by the
constant expectation
of deception.
The constant expectation of deception.
Worst of all, you've already epistemically surrendered. You've already
epistemically
surrendered.
Worst of all, you've already epistemically surrendered.
Worst of all, you've already epistemically surrendered. We really are.
I wonder on that conspiracy, because the only funny thing is right now, one of the only big things are bipartisan right now, where they talk about like, well, the extremes parties from the left and right have gotten so extreme they actually come back together because they all one of the bipartisan things that's a lot of people have is the dislike for the Israeli government. It's like, I don't want to blame. It ain't all the people on all the times. Because I've seen a lot of Jewish people call out on it and say, look, y'all doing this in our name. This is bullshit. And so it's like, and then, on the other side, you got hey, we should hate the Muslims. We should hate the Muslims. They're doing this, There's some effed up stuff going on in the world. I'm not telling you who to hate. I'll promise you that. You make your own decision on who you dislike and like and whatever makes you feel good and sleep at night. But the way things are going over there in Europe, my biggest concern is seeing it come over here. The way that's going in China with the credit score and all that bullshit. They're already putting it in. They want to have everybody with little wristbands so they can keep up your tracking. They want to turn around, implement 6G so we know where everybody is. I mean, it's, hell, in 4 years, you might not be able to hear me say stuff like this. I don't know. Crazy. Crazy world. Let's see. Okay. I guess I didn't put nothing in there. Only had I didn't do a good job this week. I only got 2 videos. My bad. Well, let me show my 2 videos. More puppy. I don't know. The more I do research, the down the hole I go. They go back on the other. The more you see, it makes you wonder. You just look at Bolsheviks, and I'm gonna leave it on this. You look at the Bolsheviks, and you see all that shit, and even all the way back to World War II, where they hit Japan, and where the bombs hit was Christian areas of Japan. My biggest curiosity on all of it, throw this out there for my last negative thing. Not negative, I guess, but there is, why is it always the Christian areas getting freaking slaughtered? Right now, Israel's bombing, St. Peter's Church. They're hitting with trebuchets on Lebanon. It just makes you wonder. Yeah, back to World War One. I mean, it goes back. Because everything you're taught in school is wrong. All right. If you're having a nervous breakdown and you had a damn monkey in your room.
Кружочек я отвлекусь хотя бы. Что? Чтобы психотерапевт сейчас дайте мне ответить. Сейчас зайдет. Не нашу вот эту ситуацию расскажет.
I don't know what he's saying, but I think he's trying to make him feel better. I really do. Again, like an animal can sense that you're really upset, so they're just doing stuff to try to make you laugh or something. I think that's truly what that monkey's trying to do. Like, you're upset. I know you're upset, so just, hey, get out of that. Get out of that stuff. I got some more video. This one here might be AI. Play some more video. I gotta play some more.
Seriously, we're gonna beat them? Oh my god! I totally got it.
I swear my cats will probably do something. And this is what everybody needs right here. Maybe this is what we just all need. Little baby cow, miniature cow. Let's see if we can get some sound. Oh, there we go. What we need. There we go. It's pretty cool. Look at this little crab just eating this grape. Little bites. Just doop, doop. Living his best life. Crab living his best life here. No, I think I've showed these videos before, but I don't care. If I haven't, it'd be all right. Cats are one of the most amazing animals. Like their reflexes, like from snakes and all stuff and happening, and they have the biggest cojones of all animals. They really no F's given to them. Like here's one backing a bear down.
That's not a baby. That's decent.
That's a pretty decent size.
That is not a baby bear. I thought the cat was a baby bear.
What the hell is the cat doing?
The cat is like having
it's fending it off.
a
Look at its
standoff with the
back.
bear.
Yeah. The cat's standing its ground.
Well, I hope we don't witness this cat get murdered. Oh,
No,
did you see the bear paw at it?
The cat will mess up the bear. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. I've watched a video of a cat and a bear.
Look at this. Look at this. They're like.
I wish I had my phone. I could take pictures.
Oh, I'm videoing the whole thing. It's a male bear.
He doesn't care about us either.
I hear him.
Hey, you got to send this stuff to me, all right? Nate?
Okay.
They're feeling it. Ooh, whoa!
Told you.
Yeah.
That's a ballsy cat.
It is.
That's a ballsy
Bear
cat.
was
I
like,
told you the cat would
the
win.
bear's
I
like,
told
what
you
kind
to
of
sit
crazy
on that
cat is
one.
this?
Here we go.
Sure enough.
I let the
It
cat look
took
back
off.
like, hey, you
Good
see that?
girl.
Look what I did. Yeah, I'm gangster. Oh, that bear's there. Let me flop back up.
That must be the
Cats don't give a crap. Yep, choose your battles for sure. Absolutely. No matter what species, women get jealous. Here we go. And that's what we ever need. We need a little puppy alligator. They build out big. That dog's living his best life.
See it. Yeah, I can see it too. I'm looking right at it. Yeah, well, I just feel like you can't be 100% sure because you're not looking in the water with me, so I'll just double check for you. Yeah, it's definitely down there. See, if you looked in the water with me, you'd be able to see it. Well, I see it just fine, so. I'm telling you, man, I'm looking right at it. Yeah, every time you do that, you're actually making it harder for me to see because you keep shaking. Right there, dude. You keep shaking the water around it. I don't know, dude. I think I'm just gonna deep dive for it. Maybe seal this. Okay, well, you're a dog, not a seal. So. I'm going for it. Here we go. No. Not even close. No. Come on, you're getting all wet. Wow, yeah, that's at least like 3,049 or something. 2 clicks or something down there. No, just let me think of a better plan. Okay? Tell mom and dad I'm a good boy. I'm going. Wait, hold on. Saw a few sharks. Had to get out of there. Definitely. Come on, I think if we both go down at the same time, we'll be able to get it. Okay. Yeah, I know that sounds like a terrible plan, and I'm not going to do it. Seriously, I had it in my mouth. I was so close. You at no point had that in your mouth. I saw the whole thing. You weren't even close. I had to drop it. There was like 70 sharks. Yeah, where do we know sharks?
Some of them voiceover videos are so good. Like I said, I know I played this video a couple weeks ago or something, but I don't care. This one's pretty funny.
Kurva anyja, faszát megbassza. Hát mi a fasz?
What is freaking rabbit?
Hát megbaszott nyúl, hát hogy lehet ilyen faszul ugrani? Hát telébe bassz a nyúl. Hát geci jobbra fut, az balra jön be.
Damn rabbit drop kicking you. How stuck a day you gotta have? You damn rabbit drop kicking your ass. Put the brush up. What are you doing, buddy? Stop that. You're not done brushing me. Before I laugh.
Go. Go.
Turkeys. All them damn turkeys. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm leaning to the side. Little gangster lean going. Oh, me. Appreciate your conspiracy. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. I really do. It's been a long day for me on podcasting, but it was fun. It's been a fun day. Get to do a great lunch show today, and with Nacho and James, and then turn around and got to go on another show. Hey, it was Within the Cauldron podcast. I'm over here just losing my mind on what I've done today. And then come in, and I was like, well, it's Wednesday. I still got to do the show. Still going to do it, no matter what. So appreciate y'all. We got some great guests coming. Again, make sure y'all like and subscribe. I got some great guests coming. Truly some fun stuff. Had some more reach out to, talk to some more today even. And so like the Sunday shows, the rest of all the month, the Sunday shows, we are booked. We got 2 left, but so that it's pretty cool. So every Sunday in August, we had a guest. This week we have Glenn Martinez coming for the Beyond the Possible show Sunday. If you want to hear some interesting things, he's a deliverance minister, exorcist. He's part of the San Antonio Ghost Hunters. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very good discussion and conversation with him. It really will be, I believe. And then I actually have back-to-back for Wednesday podcast. Just scheduling wise, I have Vincent Ryland on the show at 6 Wednesday, and then at 8:30 we're going to do an hour show, and then at 8:30 basically done the same thing I've done today. So at 6 o'clock we're going to have a show with Vincent Ryland, and then at 8:30 we'll have Talking with Conspiracy, and so that'll be fun. And then we have Emily Ann coming up the following Sunday of Appalachian Visions. And I believe that's going to be a really fun conversation with her. And just, like I said, oops, didn't mean to do that. Dismiss, get out of here. Ask me later. There we go. So lots of fun stuff, lots of good, cool guests. I'm getting September booked up. Got that going on. Just set up a deal. I'm gonna have a fun thing in October. I'll talk about it more later on. But I'm gonna go to a festival. All right, I'll send a Joey. Sweets, appreciate it. I'm gonna go in October. I'm actually gonna go and y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Y'all can bleep up in the chat, whatever. If you listen to this later on, you can in the comments. But I think this is gonna be fun. I've never heard nobody actually doing this before. So I'm gonna go up to like a Halloween festival type thing, and I'm gonna set up a booth. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna go live, and I'm gonna have an extra mic there where people can come up and go, here, have a conversation with people, and give them a space to tell their, go ghost stories, if they've seen a ghost, if they've seen UFO, whatever kind of wild thing they want to tell me. Let them tell a quick story, and then let somebody else come up and tell a quick story. I think it's going to be fun. I got a couple ways of doing things, so that's going to be interesting. How it all works out, but that's coming up 2 months. I got 2 months to figure out all the details on it. So hopefully I can make that work. We'll see how it goes. So should be a fun Saturday show. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate y'all. Much love to all y'all. Appreciate y'all. Y'all really rocked it tonight in the chat. The chat has been great. Wow. I haven't clicked on the chat in so long. It said I already had over 117 messages. So since the last time I clicked on the chat in here on the Riverside. So y'all have been great conversation back and forth. And Kramos has been lurking on me, it looks like. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, much love to all y'all. I really do appreciate y'all being here and listening to me, especially on days like this. It's just me talking. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have Jamie and Dave back soon. Keep praying for Jamie. He's still battling. The cancer in his hip and everything else. So y'all keep Jamie in your prayers. And I got lots of, and we got, and then Whitney's actually competing for Miss Wheelchair USA, I think, right now. So, so if you follow her and see the amazing things she's doing. So, but me hit this outro. I appreciate y'all. Much love for sure. I really do appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all Sunday.
Shackles, don't want no shackles on me. Don't want no shackles, don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother, don't like those RFIDs. Got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I got the blues about my freedom. Got the blues about tyranny. I sat down with Big Brother and the national ID. Don't want a chip in my wallet, chip in my car. And if I want to travel, it's nobody's business how far. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I said shame on Big Brother, always tracking and tracing me. Don't want a chip in my mother, chip in my wife, a chip in my babies. Stay out of our life. Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sat down with Big Brother. No more slavery. Play it for me, baby. Now, do you want a chip in your forehead, a chip in your arm, always tweaking your brain and causing you harm? Don't want no shackles. Don't want no shackles on me. I sit down with Big Brother in the good old USA. I sat down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother, down with Big Brother.
Differences. It's all they ever talk about. Politicians and the media always pushing the things that separate us. Things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
In the Middle East again, does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the
Roman
big
circus.
club.
What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus.
Why do you think politics feels more like a team sport than democracy?
Because that's exactly what it became. George Washington warned people about this a long time ago. He called it the spirit of party, and he said once political parties took hold, they'd start serving themselves instead of the public. And that's exactly what happened. Loyalty goes to the machine, not the country. They protect the brand, protect the tribe, protect the donors, protect the power, and the public gets whatever's left after the fundraising and the damage control. That's the bargain now. You cheer for your colors, they keep the scoreboard lit, and everybody acts like the game's what matters. Washington understood that once parties get strong enough, they stop asking what's good for the people and start asking what's good for the party. And once that happens, democracy turns into maintenance. Maintain the power, maintain the loyalty, maintain the illusion.
To the Army and Navy and the battles they have won. Here's to America's colors, the colors that never run.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
This country starts early. It works hard. It stays focused. It keeps moving. It stands ready. And it carries the weight. Strong coffee for a strong nation.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.